I'm going to tell y'all the story of the one and only time that I dropped acid. My name is Deja, and I hope you find serenity. I hope you find serenity. I hope you find serenity. Peace and greetings, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Deja Serenidad here. And I am finally back with another story time with Deja. All right, viewer discretion is advised, but I am only going to tell my truth, tell my story here. I am not a scientist. I know about psychedelics, but I don't know a lot about LSD in particular. So this is purely a story for entertainment purposes. So here's my story. When I was a senior in college in 2017, that's when I graduated college. So in my last semester, I had heard about acid throughout my life, about LSD. Like, I heard about people doing it, but to me, it always seemed like it was going to be a lot. Like, the way people described it, I wasn't sure if it was something that I necessarily wanted. So I wasn't completely closed to it, but I also wasn't pursuing it in any way. And I don't remember how exactly it came up, but me and my best friend, Courtney, we were roommates at the time, and we knew that when school ended that we were going to be going our separate ways because I was planning to come to Costa Rica. So we really wanted to do something together, and her boyfriend at the time really, he had dropped LSD so many times. So he knew a lot about it and told us how fun it was and like how much he liked it. And he was like, we should do it one day. And he is friends with another mutual friend of all of us. And I'm like, I can say their names. I think her boyfriend's name was Siam. I think it was Siam, which is such a great name. But I could be wrong. I'm like, it's been a while since I said his name, so I hope I'm correct. But anyways, and then our friend Troy, our group mutual friend Troy afterwards. So the two of them came and they were experienced. They had done it before, whereas Courtney and I had never done it. So we lived in this apartment together, and we even had roommates. I don't even know where our roommates were at the time, but we met up in our apartment, like, and just had some friends over. I remember, like, my friend Asia, I think a few other people. I think, like, our friends Asia, Alicia, and Michelle were there, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we kind of all got together and we, like, smoked, and we were just chilling, vibing. I don't even remember exactly what we did, but that's when we took it. I remember we were all we had this big, like, sectional couch. We were all sitting on the couch, and, like, we took our tabs, and we're like, all right, let the journey begin. Mantra, what is wrong? After we took it, where our apartment was, it was really close to the campus. It was, like, right behind the campus. And the back of our campus was, like, a gym and a whole bunch of fields, like fields for outdoor sports and things like that. And, like, one field had a big stage on it for concerts and things. And this was, like, literally like a 3 or 4 minute walk from our apartment. So we went there to, like, begin the experience. And I remember that I knew that it was officially working when we were up on the, like, stage that was out on the field. And as I was looking out at this grass, it was kind of like some hills and things, like, all green. And I was just like, it started to move like waves. And that's when I was like, oh, now it's officially happening. Because before that, I was just feeling happy. And just, like, we were walking. I was like, oh, it's so nice out. It's perfect weather. This is southern Georgia in, I guess it was April. It had to be April of 2017 because it was right before our graduation, which was early May. So yeah, it was really gorgeous weather, blue skies, clouds on puff, sun was out. It was perfect. So we really, that's when the visuals started, when we got to this field. And I was also feeling a lot of joy. And, like, also when I was looking at the sky, I was getting, like, kaleidoscope vision. So I saw all these shapes, and it kind of looked like a portal, or, like, you know, like those little kaleidoscopes that we look at as kids, which, shout out to those. Those are really cool. And also, I'm like, somebody who knows about psychedelics made that. Had to be, because that's exactly what I saw. So I'm like, oh, this is, you know, based on, like, something real that we can really experience. So just seeing all these patterns in the sky and in everything, and seeing everything, like, breathe, like, even the like, the sides of the stage and like the trees and everything was breathing, and there was this like this vibration that I'm putting out. Like I can see it everywhere. It was beautiful. And then we have a nice campus. So I went to Georgia Southern University, so that's where this happened. We have a really nice campus there. Like it's very green, lots of trees. Like I said, it's Southern Georgia, so there's like 2 little lakes on the campus as well, and it's not so huge, but it has a nice little like space to walk. So yeah, we were walking around, and we came to this spot where it's like there's like these big buildings out like in the corners around us, and then there's this circle with like trees and plants in it and benches around the circle. And we sat down, Courtney and I, and at this point we still had all our friends with us. So we had the 2 guys who were also on acid, and then we had our other friends who were basically like babysitters. So some of them did smoke, but they did not take acid. So they were there to just, make sure we were good. This is how intentional we were with it. We were like, we want to have a few people there to just make sure everything's okay, because we didn't know what we were going to experience. But anyways, at this point, everyone was still there, and they were still like, walking around, talking, doing their own thing, but like staying with us and witnessing us. And when we sat on this bench, Courtney and I, literally, like, I can't remember if it was her or me. I think it was her who just like looked at me and was like, I'm gonna miss you. Like, like when we graduate, and I'm gonna miss you too. And then we started sobbing, crying, y'all. Like, I mean, like literally we were bawling, like making noise, like literally like someone had died. Like we were crying, and all our friends was like, shit. Our friends was like but yeah, at this point, and we were hugging, and like we eventually were like calming down, we were breathing, and it wasn't like 20 minutes, y'all. I don't remember how much time it was truly, but we were crying for I think a few minutes. And then yeah, so our amazing companions and guardians, her boyfriend at the time and our friend, they really just knew exactly what to do. So I didn't see everything, but I imagine like they were like telling everybody like, okay, like we got it from here or whatever. Because at this point, our other friends who weren't on acid, they decided to leave because they're like, okay, like they're in their journey now. And they felt like they needed to give us the space to be in the journey. And also Troy and Sion were like, we got this. We will take care of them. And they just, these 2 black men, they just came and they just kind of like, one took, so Sion, Courtney's boyfriend at the time, took her and was like, hey, like, come on, you want to take a walk? You want to go look at some trees? Like, let's take a walk over here. So he took her, and then Troy was like, Deja, do you want to take a walk over here? I was like, yeah, I'll take a walk. So they knew to like just get us in a new energy, because we had just started to go down into a dark hole. And not even in a bad way. Like, honestly, this was a sacred experience. We needed to cry about it. We were such good friends, but both like not super in our emotions about it, or about the fact that we were about to separate from each other. But I think it really was so real and so beautiful to me, and we can laugh about it today. But yeah, so we separated at that point, and so they went on. I don't even know what they did, but I remember Troy and I, we took a walk, and we walked back towards our apartments, but like we walked through campus a bit more, talked to flowers and stuff like that. And like, because they had so much experience already, they kind of knew the kind of things that are good for you to do when you're on psychedelics. Like, it's good to do creative things, to see like colors, and to be in a really nice environment, and also where you feel safe. That's important. So I remember that when we were going back to the apartment, because I wanted to be inside. Like, I wanted to feel like my room again, my house again, because it was just my safe place. And we had a good amount of, like, a long time that we were outside, so it was time to go inside. But when we were going inside, I don't like to use the elevator. Like, I lived all the way on the 4th floor. I would use the elevator, but I sometimes would take the stairs. And in this case, we took the stairs. And the staircase was like, there's no windows in there, so it's, you know, like an enclosed space. There's monkeys passing, if y'all hear any little. That's monkeys in the trees. So yeah, when we were in the staircase, so we were on one floor walking up, and then you could hear people come into the staircase like on a lower floor and start walking up behind us, and they were like talking. And I got so scared. I was like, oh my God, I do not want anyone to see me right now. Like, I don't want to be seen by someone who's not on acid right now. Like, I don't want to be perceived right now. I don't want people to see my crazy eyes because I'm feeling like I'm like this. Like, I didn't want to see anyone. So I got really scared. And actually, now that I think about it, I think they were actually coming down, because I remember being like, oh no, I'm going to have to pass them. Like, I can't even evade it or whatever. And yeah, I remember like a big group passed me, and I didn't like the way it felt, but I tried to just kind of smile and not say anything. But anyways, we made our way to my apartment, and we got back inside, and then I don't even remember what Troy was doing. He was also in his own journey. And I went into my room, and I had this beautiful painting by another friend who went to Georgia Southern, Jasmine. She's an amazing artist. And she had gifted me this beautiful painting some months before that. And it's like, it's got flowers inside of the painting, and there's like this clear kind of gel, like resin thing on top. So it's really smooth, it's really soft. It's a big painting, and it's like pink and purple and like sunsetty, and it's just really, really beautiful. Like, it's my favorite painting. I now gifted it to another friend because it was too big to move to Costa Rica. But yeah, so I was like in my bed, like literally looking at this painting and like crying and like swimming in the painting, like putting my hands on it a lot and like hugging it. And I was like, this is amazing. And on the other side of the painting, because it was a big piece of wood, it's like a heavy piece, she had like drawn with pencil this big like flower, and she never ended up painting it. She decided to do a new project, but it was just there on the back. And then I turned it over and I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, there's more. So this is just an example of like the things that were really satisfying, because how I felt was like, I felt like everything was just more. Like, I could see more, I could feel more, like I could sense more. And like I said, everything was breathing. I saw a lot of these like designs, and sometimes it would be like, I'm still seeing what I'm seeing in the kaleidoscope type of like effect. It's like clear, so I can see right through it. But now everything that I'm seeing, it's like I'm seeing details that I couldn't see when I'm not on psychedelics. Like, I'm seeing details that are always there. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like I'm seeing some imaginary thing show up in my vision. No, like, I'm seeing everything that I already see, but I'm seeing it in a new way. And it feels like an enhanced way. And so yeah. So I had a good time with that, and I went back out, and I remember that I tried to eat, and at the time, like, I had like Ritz crackers in my house, and I tried to eat a Ritz cracker, and I was like, oh my God, I don't like this. Like, when it crumbled in my mouth, I remember being like, oh God, I'm gonna have to chew this for the rest of my life. It's gonna take forever to chew. Like, I just didn't want to chew. And I remember like rinsing my mouth out and be like, I can't eat anything. And I think I did eat a banana, and it was a little bit better, which that's the bomb, because I needed some fruit, and I wanted to eat something because I was hungry. But like, yeah, like chewing, I was very sensitive about the chewing. Like, the banana was nice because it was like soft and easy, but the cracker, like, because of the crunch and everything being in my mouth, I hated it. I remember being like, oh no, I cannot eat on this. So yeah. Once I've been back out there in the main room, I was hanging out with Troy a little. We were listening to music and stuff, and I was like, suddenly I was like, where's Courtney? because Courtney had gone with her boyfriend and they had their own journey. And I was like, I realized that I wasn't with her anymore after we had been in there maybe, again, I don't remember how long. We had been inside for a little while. And I was like, I don't know where Courtney is. And I was kind of like, I would be calm and I'd be chilling. And I was like, I have to find Courtney. Like, I have to make sure she's okay. Like, I was like, I want to know that she's okay. And so I like came in and out of worrying about her. And Troy, again, he's literally like, it literally is like, he's like this Montessori teacher. And I'm like this toddler, because that was the energy it was giving. He was so like so gentle in his voice and just like, hey, like, do you want to see this? And he had on his iPad this thing where you can touch it and it makes like firework things, like and it's this black screen and you just are touching it and you can like draw stuff. And he was like, oh, you want to see this? And I was like, oh. And he would just literally distract me every time I got upset. Like, literally, big shout out to Troy. That was so funny. Like, he was really the perfect babysitter. Literally, because I was giving baby energy. And eventually she came back and I was like, Courtney, I'm so glad you're home. I was worried about you. And once she got back, she told me about her journey, which I now do not remember. I'm going to have to ask her again. I'm going to send her this video and I'm also going to ask her to tell me her story. I want to hear it again. I want to hear her perspective again, you know. Because, yeah, at the time she told me a little bit about what they went and did. I think that they stayed outside for a long time. They were walking around and stuff. But, yeah. When we were all together again inside, I remember we got out. She had, like, just some black paint. We were like, let's paint. And we just painted ourselves. We just painting shit on our arms and our legs and, like, a little on our face. And we're just all on the floor painting ourselves. And we had like we had a big like flat screen TV and we had like, they put on, Troy and them put on some kind of stuff you watch when you're on LSD, like with designs, you know, geographic forms and, geographic, no. Is that the word? I don't know. But y'all know what I mean. Again, those forms and things. And it had some like kind of music without words playing. So that's what we had on the TV. And it was like all these different colors. And that was the only light on. So that was like lighting us up. So imagine us, we're lit up with green and blue and purple and red. And we're just painting ourselves. The four of us. It was honestly so sacred. Like, it was so beautiful. And after this, we felt like we wanted, then it got late. So I know that at this time it was already dark outside. And I think even by the time Courtney got back, it was dark outside. And we had started this in the afternoon, like 3 or 4 p.m. like type time. So it was late for sure. Like, and I normally go to bed very early. I've always been an early sleeper. But with this, like, I really stayed up all night. So we decided we wanted to go outside at some point. I don't know what time it was, but I know it was late enough for like buildings on campus to be closed. So like I said, we lived in an apartment that was not like a dorm, but it was right by the school, like literally right behind the school. So it's just a few minute walk to get to campus. So we decided we wanted to go on a walk because at night there's not many people on campus. So okay, it's a lot of animals making noises, so I was just checking to make sure it wasn't one of mine. So yeah, we went outside and we're literally walking by the road and we're like barefoot, we're like, you know, tripping, like, and we're happy and it felt very tribal, like it felt very like, because it's just the four of us and we're just happy. We're like, we're gonna go outside now, let's go. And we're outside and we're like, oh, the air is so good, the trees, hey trees. And literally it's nighttime, so cars are passing us with their headlights on. And remember, we painted our bodies, y'all. We still had clothes on, but we painted our arms, our legs, some on our face, and we're just walking around, the four of us. And I remember having a moment when we were walking across to get to the campus. I was like, oh my God, like, people see us. People can see us. But luckily it's like, you know, in a college town, you can see a group of people doing weird stuff and be like, they're just doing something weird, because that's how young people are, always doing something. But yeah. Thank God we did not have to deal with any, like, experience any police. Thank you for protecting us. Because I was not in the state. But anyway, so the art building was really close. So at first we were just walking around, and we were just, I don't know what, we were just walking, following our hearts, and just frolicking, talking, saying stuff, being funny. And they were like, oh my God, there's the art building. Like, we should go to the art building, because the art building has, like, basically an art museum in the halls. It's like a lot of art on the walls. Oh, I have bars. A lot of paintings on the walls. Art in the halls. Okay, I lost it. Anyways, I remember we had to go under a fence. Not like a fully closed fence, but like one where we did have to go under, like, some barbed wire or something. And then we got to the building, and they're not talking to me. And we knew from experience, and I can't remember what experience it was. Somebody showed us, but the door is locked with a magnet. So if you yank the door like that, like really hard, like, it just opens. So you just have to use all your force. So we did that. We was all in the art building, y'all. We was looking at all the art, and we were, like, lost in the paintings. And I remember being in there like, this is amazing. And it was just beautiful. So we were walking through the halls, looking at the art, and then the art building also has the theater. Kind of like a black box theater, but a big one, like a big theater, but all black in there. And it's nighttime, and it doesn't have, like, automatic lights or anything. So, like, we get to the theater, and it's a pitch black room, because, you know, there's no windows in the theater. So we go in there, and we get into some of the seats way up high, like in the back. And the four of us just sat there in silence for, like, again, I don't know. I wasn't perceiving time, so a very long time. Like, if I could go back and see it, I wouldn't be surprised if we were sitting there for, like, 45 minutes to an hour in complete. We were just all deep, swimming in the darkness. It's just so soothing to be in the darkness. Which is something I like in general for myself. I love, like, pitch black. It's like being in the womb. It's like, I'm just so cozy and comfortable in the pitch black. So yeah, we all enjoyed it. And I remember at the time I had, like, thoughts and visualizations, and I don't remember what they were anymore, but it was just a beautiful experience. And I don't remember much else. Like, that's mostly what I remember. I know that we made our way back to the apartment. And I think by then, we kind of all went our separate ways. Like, I don't even remember. Oh, I think they slept on the couch. We had a really big couch. So they slept out there. And I went to my room and closed the door and had my own journey. I know I didn't really sleep, but I don't even remember what I did. I just was looking at the art I had and was thinking and talking to myself and laughing at myself and singing to myself. And I remember I did smoke again, because I was like, I do want to rest. And that helped me a lot, and helped me to just be like, finally relax and lay down, and only slept for a few hours. And then we all woke up, and we just came out into the living room. We're like, y'all all right? And we were all good. I think that we made breakfast and stuff. And I remember still feeling it the next day. Like, I was like, that was intense. Like, I was tired. I was tired because I had stayed up and I didn't sleep a lot. And I was tired because it was just so much. And now I was back in this other place. So I was like, okay, I need to rest. I need to hydrate. I need to eat. And by the following day, I felt much better. So that's my story. I want to say that I only did it the one time. I never did it again, even though I always say, like, this was the best day of my life. Like, everything about it, I loved it. It was a wonderful experience, and I remember feeling so good about it afterwards and feeling like it was this kind of rite of passage as I was ending my experience of being in college, and I was about to come to Costa Rica. And I was like, yeah, this is the perfect time for me to experience psychedelics for the first time. And I'm so grateful for that experience. I didn't do it again because once I came to Costa Rica, I started to get more into like holistic living and things like that. So I realized I don't really know what acid is. Like, I don't know what exactly LSD is. And I really should have like Googled it before making this video, but whatever. Y'all can do your own research. Like I said, I'm not here to teach. I'm just here to tell my story. But yeah, I'm going to look into it. But I'm like, I don't really know what it is. So I don't necessarily want to put anything in my body that I don't know what it is. But I have, of course, had a lot of experiences with psilocybin as a medicine. I host ceremonies here on my farm, and I have used them many times. The first time I used them was in 2021, I believe. And since I have both experiences, I can see that like LSD is like a really intense version of what you can experience on mushrooms. I've also never done a huge dose of mushrooms, so I imagine the higher the dose, then the more similar it is to like the intensity of the LSD. But yeah, I don't have the experience of that come down energy. Like I feel like it's a smooth transition of having it, and then like waking up the next day, like still feeling good, not feeling like really tired or depleted or anything like I did with the LSD. So I just feel like if I want to experience psychedelics, entheogens, then I'm going to do it the most natural way. Here I can literally pick my own mushrooms. So I'm getting it directly from the source and drying it myself and preparing it myself. So yeah, I heart psychedelics. Thank you so much for listening to my story. Peace, and as always, I hope you find serenity.